Okay, call the meeting to order. Kit's not going to be here. Okay, we have past minutes to approve. So we'll start with the August 15th.
I'll move to approve the August 15th, 2016 minutes.
Okay,
I'll second that.
any discussion on that? Okay, Keith,
Aye.
please.
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
I'm going to abstain from that one because I wasn't here and I don't know what was done, so. Okay, then the August 22nd meeting.
I move that we approve the August 22nd minutes. I think that was a special meeting.
Okay, you have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on that one? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, September 12th.
I did have one comment on September 12th for the portfolios on the airport. The runway at the airport is scheduled to be poured on October 14th. The mix or design for the pavement was due on October 14th. So if that fails, then they're gonna go ahead and end the contract. So that would be a slight change.
Would you, we explain that again? The mixer design?
What they call is a, by August 14th, they need to submit the P501 PCC pavement mix design that meets the specs. And so that's due on the 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I think it's just the mixture that.
yeah, it has to pass a brake test
Okay.
type of thing.
Right.
So I'll make that change.
Okay, also I'd like to add to that, just for clarification, that Sue Winter and the Olbergs did agree, to letting at least the go-karts be tried.
Where are you? Is this still on the
It's on the
September 12th?
Yeah, 12th, that's where we're at, so. I think that was a big part of letting us go ahead with that, so it's on the second page, middle of the page.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
so.
Do we need to adjust the motion then, or we?
That would be that's the motion with the correction.
Okay.
We haven't made the motion yet, though, so.
Yeah.
So I'll make the motion that we approve the September 12th minutes with those corrections.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
aye. September 27th special meeting. That was the continuation of the protest meeting.
I move to approve the minutes for the September 27th meeting, special meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
aye. Financial reports? Do you have a motion to approve the financials?
I'll motion to approve the financials.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion on those? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
Well,
Aye.
aye. David Lindell, there he is. Come on up, David, we'll get you out of here.
Well, Joan wanted me to come tonight and discuss, with the 2014 project, with the money that we just got all that figured out, or no, yeah, for the specials for the ones that are in the paper now and whatever.
14, 15.
We wanted to come up with an interest rate, a blended rate, because part of it is street projects from bonds from Doherty and Company, and the other part is from the SRF, and there's a blended rate. The street project from Doherty had a rate of about 3.55, and the SRF money is 2% money. And I think I did a pretty good job. I took, just based on the principal and interest that the city would owe, came up with, I'm not hoping, Reese might be able to help me out more on some of this stuff, but 2.55% is what I believe is the rate. And normally the city then increases that usually about 1%, but I don't know if you want to go that much or not. But the reason for that is to cover any administrative costs that might incur, and also to have some cushion in the event that people are late paying or get delinquent or things like that. So we always should have enough, because the payments that Joan is going to have, or the city has to make, are at a certain date. And we want to make sure that we have the funds in the sinking fund to pay that and whatever on that. So we thought that would be a good idea. I don't think the last time that we did this, I'm not sure if any of the commissioners were on the commission at that time. So we thought it would be a good idea to bring that and discuss it, and then have the commission determine what rate they want to put on the assessments. Joan, you got anything else?
I don't. When you and I had initially talked, and I just made this for them to look at. The SRF was at 2. You and I had discussed 2.575 on water and sewer. But as Dave said, you can go up to 1% increase for specialists.
So there you got about 0.5% on the water and sewer roughly. And then you're looking at about a little more than 0.5% on the
Yeah, probably you're looking at maybe like a 3.25 or something like that, or maybe a little bit less.
So that's, so you're saying we need to
Well,
make a motion to approve these? or what do we
the
need to do?
2.55 is, I think, with blended. If you go to 2.575, you're really not, that's a quarter of 1%. I mean.
I had it at 3.125.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's, okay, yeah.
That's the same-
Yeah, that
same
makes,
gap.
I think that, and that's in line. I think the last time they did it, I believe it was 1, but I don't know if you need to do that or not, so. But we have to do a little bit higher than the actual rate.
Did it prove out that 1% would have covered fine last time, or is that just?
Well, we're still in it, so
Sure.
we're still collecting from that, so.
So that's the recommendation, is going at 3.125?
Oh, I'd say, yeah, at
Okay.
least that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think, go with the lowest we can get by with.
Yeah.
Now, the water and sewer will be those, and that pavement will be that, or you said something about a combined? Or-
Yeah, they'll combine, and, yeah, and I'll have to figure out the exact amount, but it'll be probably in closer to 3.1.
For everything?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no.
So-
There'll be a one interest rate for the water and the sewer, and then just the pavement will be at the
That'll be separate.
3.125.
I see, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was only the pavement had that combined rate. We used part bonding.
Oh, right, yeah,
We
okay,
used
yeah,
the
right, right, right,
695 for the
right.
bonding, and then the remainder of it was the SRF at 2%, because the pavement covered the infrastructure that qualified for the SRF.
Yes, you're right, I read that wrong.
Yeah, okay.
So then 2.575 for water and sewer and 3.125 for pavement.
Correct,
Yeah.
if that's what you guys decide.
So we need a motion on this then, is that correct?
I think you should, yeah.
Okay. Well, motion that we go with these interest rates for the water, sewer, and pavement for the 2014-2015 special assessment.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Anybody? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Aye.
And then, just so you guys are aware and papers aware, for the next 2 weeks, residents are able to come in and pay those special assessments off directly, and then they don't have the 20 years of interest. Once we certify them up to the county, then they can't do that any longer. But they can pay them directly in our office, and then, after that 2 weeks, we're gonna send them up to the county and then we're done. So, does that make sense?
But after they go to the county, if they pay them off, they save interest too, right?
They pay the full amount.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
There's no ability to pay it off once it hits the county. It's,
I think there is, they
Oh,
just,
there is.
they just don't like to do it, but I think they can do it.
okay.
I've been told no.
That's
But I know if they come to my office, they can pay them all off with no interest.
2 weeks from tonight?
Yep, for the next couple weeks. And it's just because we have to have them to the county by November 1st, all of the amortizations.
That's something we need to have a little ad in the paper that
I was thinking.
We
people
have.
can save
We do?
money.
Yep, we're going to,
Yeah.
yep, and we've had it on the Access channel all weekend, and then we've been Sharon has been calling the people that had requested to be notified when they're able to do that, so
Okay,
they've been starting to come in. Yes.
okay, very good. All right. Make a note to pay him.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, we'll get it.
David, you might want to stick around, because that meeting date with Mike Mastrom, you're gonna be there for that, or,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
okay. So, and that's it for this interest rates, right?
Correct.
Okay. Just 1 second, I'm writing a note. 2 weeks. Okay, possible special meeting date with Mike Manstrom for 2016 bonding documents. So, basically I have to be there, Joan, I suppose David, and that's probably about it, right? Or
We need a quorum.
Oh, we need a quorum.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, we have to
Because
have a
he'll
quorum.
bring some financing resolutions.
Oh, okay. Oh, we'll do, okay, very good. So, does he have any dates in mind?
The 17th, next Monday or Tuesday, 17th or 18th? Yep, 17th or 18th. And he said he can, he actually, he said he'd make himself available, but those were the 2 days that he was looking at.
What's everybody think?
I'm good with Monday or Tuesday.
You talking like late afternoon, evening, we talking, or what are we talking?
Well,
here?
you know, he has come before in the lunch hour, but I told him we had a number of people that was gonna be a little difficult for. But he said anytime in the evening also he will come, whenever it's convenient for us to have a quorum.
I think I can make either one as long as I, have a notice here, so.
Yeah, PM would work best.
What time do you get off work?
I could be back at 4 PM.
4:30?
You're till
4:30.
4:30 right now.
So, we wanna go, say, the 17th at 4:30? That sound good to everybody?
Yep.
Is that good for you, Dave?
Yeah, yeah, earlier, the earlier the better, yeah.
And that is for the bond for the 2016 project.
Correct.
Is what we're doing resolutions and working on.
Okay, that'll be our special meeting. On this next one, David, I kind of want you to stick around too, to tell us the legalities for, like, once the land gets deeded to the city and then selling it,
Okay.
if that would be okay. Okay, request to purchase parcel from Clay Hilton. Oh, request is from him, so.
Come on up. Clay came in last week and was inquiring about, he's been in the process of trying to get an area where he can build a house down in this area of town. It's down past the city compound and down on that side, down by the river. It's an original town site. So the area that he has, that is outlined in orange, is the area that he currently owns. And then the blue is owned by someone else. And he is requesting to purchase, or to have an option to purchase this land, this triangle down below here. It's currently an area that's owned by McLean County. And when I talked to Les up at the courthouse, McLean County will sell it to the city of Washburn. And then, and this was his recommendation how to do it. They will sell it to the city of Washburn, the city will hold it for 90 days. Then at which point we could then sell it to Clay for an agreed amount, whatever you guys agree upon.
I guess my big question is, if the city gets it, do we have to put it up on bids?
You have to if you think it's worth more than $2,500.
Well, how many acres is this? Anybody know? If it's anything compared to this, it's at least a couple of acres.
I think it was 1.6.
Okay.
1.6. Les at the county recommended this way first
Right.
to, it would be better title first. The title would be better by doing it this way. I don't really know much,
Yeah.
other than that, but that's just what he recommended to do first.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't just sell it outright to you?
He said that they could.
They would, and then they would,
But-
he'd have to do a quiet title on his own.
And then it sounded like it wouldn't be as good as a title or something like that, or something.
If the city holds it and then sells it, it can just be a warranty deed.
You can do it in lieu of a quiet title.
But we would have to put it out on bid.
Well, it depends on what value it is.
What?
It's like selling the land that you sold up in Heritage Heights. If it's under $2,500, then they can purchase it. If it's more than the $2,500, then it goes out.
Thinking down there though would probably be more.
Yeah, I think it would be probably quite a bit more, I would think, I think that would be pretty, and you'd have interested parties in it, absolutely. I would like to say yes, but,
Might have to do some research on it.
yeah, but it's just off the top of my head, I'm thinking we would almost have to go into a bid process if we did it that way.
And we could do that, it's just the only problem is then you'd have to
Yeah.
bid against people.
Right.
That's,
And I realize that's probably the better way of getting it as far as title, but if you want to make sure that nobody else gets it, then it would probably be the best to go through the county.
Okay.
I mean, we could do a little more research on it, but that's, I don't know. I just think it's worth more than
I
$2,500.
can discuss it with you too, like some of the options that you have.
Okay.
you wouldn't be interested in us doing that and then putting it up for bid, would you? And just trying to bid?
I guess
Preferably not, right?
yeah, I wouldn't think so,
Yeah.
but,
I mean, I would love to just say, yeah, let's do it, but in clear conscience, I don't think we can, because I think it's worth more than that.
And I would be okaying it and then putting it up for bid, but then the problem is you might not get it.
Right. Do you want us to like table this, and then you want to talk to David about some things, or what do you think?
yeah, I'll probably, I guess, see some options, or, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to see you get it, it's just, we have to, follow the laws. If that's okay, Clay? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I guess, yeah, I can.
Mhm.
I hope you get
That we
it.
just don't wanna.
Yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine. He just said to start there and see if it
Yeah.
goes that way, and if it don't, he said there's other options, so
Okay.
I just
Right.
thought I would ask, so.
Mhm.
And then if you want to come back to us after that fact, we'll do whatever's legal.
Okay,
And if there's other options that David has or that Les would recommend, it might be something that's even a lot easier than what this currently is of, wait
Yeah.
3 months, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. So.
yeah. So,
Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Ron? Ron Hussein, special liquor license.
Ron is requesting a special liquor license to serve down at River A. He's done this before. It's in, I think it's the third year that he's done it. He has a picture of it on the back. And he's paid his fee and all seems to be in order with it.
Okay. Yeah, and he's definitely done it before
Yeah.
for a few years, so. I'll move that we allow the special liquor license for Captain's Cabin.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? What date is it on?
I didn't take it. Do you have the date?
Is it on there? Was it October 29th?
29th?
Dated. Oh, he wrote dated on the 29th. That should have been this. So yes,
Oh.
October 29th.
Okay. All right, Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Aye. Don Winter, feedback on recent use of go-kart track.
Thank you for taking the time to hear us tonight. Just coming in because I know watching the videotape at the last meeting, you guys had requested feedback on how the go-karts went. So we just, we wanted to come up and speak to you on what our experience was last weekend. Unfortunately, it was really loud and overly intrusive. I mean, it was really bad. The saving grace was that there was not a lot of people there. So we didn't get to experience the whole full effect of 4 carts at a time too often. I know the first day, Saturday, I had gone inside. I was upstairs in our bedroom. I turned the TV on and I was watching football, and Hank Helm was outside mowing under the window. So there was quite a bit of ambient noise in the background, and you could hear them fire the carts up and easily hear it in our house. It was very distracting and very loud. So I talked with most of the neighbors on the street, as many as I had time to. And pretty much down the line, it was the same. They were not impressed with it. I invited them all to come here tonight to share their opinion. Some did, some couldn't make it. But just, wanted to let you guys know with the feedback that we had experienced with that weekend. And it was not a pleasant time.
Well, we really appreciate you coming and saying that because, this was a trial thing to see how it would work. And hey, I mean, if it's gonna be that disruptive, it's, except for maybe riverboat days, or something.
And actually, I mean, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody else here, but the Obergs and I had spoke about it yesterday, and, riverboat days, the community is loud as a whole. I don't, this is just speaking for Sue and I. We would not have issues if they wanted to run riverboat days. But otherwise, it is really, really difficult. Did you guys have any questions?
Was anybody from the commission there?
I was, and then I kind of drove around the backside, and personally myself, when I was on the backside in front of your house, it was almost the voices,
Yeah.
because it was the voices, the people were loud,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was even so much the carts except for the backfiring, but the people were really loud.
Yeah, and you could hear the cars.
Yeah, you could, yep.
And it was a steady drum for 6
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say the crowd was the loudest.
Yeah.
And I'm on the other side there, right next to Dawn, but that was the loudest for us.
And that kind of surprised me, just because I didn't expect the crowd to be that loud.
Well-
There wasn't that many people.
There wasn't.
And they did have a portable PA system hooked up that they had never used. I mean, when I saw that, that was my real concern too, is that, man, you get the cars going with those PAs if they start calling laps out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be really bad. But, they had never used that, so, like I said, the best part as far as we were concerned was that there really wasn't a lot of people there. It seemed to be not really well attended, which I felt bad for them, they're running a trial.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful fall weekend and you don't get people to show up, I'm sure that had to be disheartening.
Right. Well, they have one more day in that thing that we requested, or that they.
Yeah, 15.
He just dropped it off right before I left today. They've scheduled one for Sunday, October 16th.
Okay, and then, well, I guess as far as I'm concerned, I mean, if it's that much of a disruption, You know, maybe, as far as I'm concerned, you know, with the exception of Lewis and Clark days, you know, or Riverboat days, you know, probably won't, you know, allow it again. So I don't know how everybody else feels, but,
Well, I guess I was always under the impression that I would go with whatever the people thought.
mhm.
You know, I know you guys thought that a couple times would be okay, are you guys more into the mode
No,
of?
we're in total agreement with Don.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Saturday wasn't as bad as Sunday because there was it was pretty breezy, so the wind was, or the noise wasn't carrying as much, but both days, sitting in my basement with all the windows closed, we could hear it all day.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And also, it wasn't just noise. We didn't experience it because we had the windows closed up. We were still running the air conditioner. But Lincolns, who are right next door, were home. They had the windows open, and Jen told me they were getting exhaust fumes
Oh, sure.
into the house.
Right.
And I think that was probably on Saturday, the windy day,
Yeah.
because it was blowing that way. So she said that was really
Oh, absolutely.
disruptive too. So,
I wouldn't want that,
no.
Yeah.
so, okay. Anybody else have any comments on that? or-
We're in total agreement with Don. If they want to do it on Riverboat days, or if there's some other citywide special event that comes up, that'd probably be fine too.
On a citywide event, probably would be the only time.
Or I guess we had discussed, you know, if they had the opportunity where there was a large, significant charitable event,
Oh,
like,
In conjunction with what, I think there's a tent dance.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
separate from Riverboat Days.
like
Sure.
Ron does the cystic
Right,
fibrosis thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
If something like that, if there was a demand for that one-time event, if the money was going to charity, if it
Oh,
was a charitable purpose,
oh, okay, yeah.
you know, that one or two times, because again, it's pretty loud over at the cabin too, so,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it went.
I don't have to go to the dance, I know,
Yeah. We just sit out on the backyard and listen.
Me too. I'm further down.
Now, is the event on the 16th a private party still?
I believe it is.
No, it's.
I don't think
Oh, is
it
it?
is.
It's, yes, the impression I was getting from Facebook feedback was they were implying that weekend was also going to be open. Which was a surprise to us, because that wasn't what
At the
we
last
were,
meeting.
that wasn't what we were told it was gonna
The
be.
private birthday
Right.
party, right?
Well, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah. Would that should be in the minutes then?
Interesting.
When I asked him today, he said that the birthday party was in conjunction with the date that with the rest of us. So, but I can call and ask.
It's a little confusing. It is misleading too. Cause I remember it was private birthday.
Mhm.
That's
private
what I
one.
can remember.
Yeah.
Well, I know they did purchase an ad today in the paper for it.
Oh, did they? The tough thing is figuring out, you know, like for example, there's going to be, let's say, a benefit. You know, so every time, you know, I'm kind of talking about you guys. So in other words, anytime something like that happens, you guys are gonna have to come in and fight that situation or agree with it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a little annoying for you too.
Mhm.
You know.
It's difficult to get time to come in. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has
Yeah.
life. You guys know
Yeah.
that. You're all very busy, so to come in and to speak every time is kind of challenging, so.
Just for discussion, you know, Alyssa did some really good work investigating that special permit for this circumstance. And we learned some lessons from that, but bring that up again next time for Riverboat Days. Are we even able to grant a
Well,
special use
The only thing
permit
is, though,
for?
is I've talked to Alyssa, and she knew this before she wrote the article, is I talked to the city attorney, and also I talked to the League of Cities, and not saying it's a situation where I'm in favor of doing it all the time, but both cases said that, in both cases, they said that it was okay for us to do that, or they gave the impression that it was okay.
For the city to give permission, you mean? Yes.
For a special situation.
And
you know.
I read both the article and then the editorial, and I could understand the positions, but I also could see that, well, it was permission given by the city, and so we weren't gonna fight.
So hopefully in the paper this week, that portion is
There is
distributed.
not any correction whatsoever because
As far as any opinion from the League of Cities or from the city attorney, no one would go on the record. And I can't source anyone who will not go on the record.
I just told you.
So you're speaking on David's behalf?
No, I'm speaking on what I've been told. And you made it sound like we didn't talk to anybody. And that's not the case, I told you.
I didn't say you didn't talk to anybody. There was no one that would go on the record to it, and I
You said
can't
it-
say anything for
You said
anyone
it
who
was
tells me.
You said it was illegal.
I said that from my sources that I was getting, that.
But you failed to say what my sources were saying. And your sources
Your
didn't,
sources wouldn't let me source them.
but your sources wouldn't either. The name wasn't in there for your source either.
And I didn't source anyone in my article from it. I looked from court cases that I looked up and information that I looked
Yeah.
up.
And the thing about it is in this situation, I agree with you guys. I just want us to be accurate about what we're saying, you know.
In the thing that Hooters and Scooters presented us, it said the October 1st and 2nd dates would be open to the public to attend for a fee to ride the go-karts. The October 15th or 16th date would be a closed party that would not allow anyone but their invited guests to attend the function. No walk-ins would be allowed to attend. This event still has obviously not been approved and therefore booked by this customer. So this could still not occur depending upon their decision.
Would you like me to make that correction to the minutes? I have, and one future date, if the contract works for them from noon to 6, and they're to notify the auditor's office.
Right. I guess, you know, there was a lot said that night. We'd almost have to go back to the tape and review.
And you know what? I mean, I'm just gonna jump in here if that's okay. Again, speaking for myself and Sue, the way we feel the commission has made their decision, it's, you know, whatever it is.
You're okay with that date?
If they wish to run that day, you guys have granted them permission to run that day. And I don't know, what do you guys think?
Yeah,
Good.
I agree with that.
I just want it known that we were informed it would be, I mean, at least make notice of that we agreed to a private party, but yes,
Right.
it's already been,
No.
permission has been given,
Right?
so they can, you know, we're not gonna go and
Here's neat, not
pick it,
peaceful.
right,
Well, I think that is what, you know, the intent of the commission was,
right.
you know.
So, no, I mean, from watching, you know, watching the meeting on videotape, I mean, my understanding was that the commission was agreeing to a private party, but I think at this, you know, at this point, this has caused enough tension
Yeah.
in this community. I mean, it's damaged friendships, it's hurt
Yeah.
other relationships, it's caused distrust and things, and enough is enough. I mean, if it's gonna cause more issues, let them have their date. I mean, let them run, let them bring people in for, I don't know, what do you guys think?
For October.
For October.
For
For October. This,
Clarify.
October 16th. October 16th,
Well, you know,
please.
this is not gonna help them for asking for anything else in the future.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
but,
we won't argue over.
What would be the
Okay.
recourse if they attempt to do both days then?
what's that? I'm sorry.
There was social media information that they were advertising for both days. What would be the course of action then if they did attempt to go for both days?
They advertised for the 15th
I
and the
don't know if they
16th.
were advertising, it was implied on social media that that's what they were telling the people that attended the 1st and 2nd, is that they were going to be open.
The 5th.
The
Do you think-
15th and 16th.
Do you think maybe they were saying that if it's yucky the 15th, they might do it on the 16th or something like that? I don't know, but.
I mean, this is social media, so it's this person told this person and this person, so there's no,
Yeah.
Sure. This only says the 16th, so we're hoping that it is that. If it is operating on the 15th, maybe a member of the commission can go up there and talk to them, or maybe we can talk to them prior to, just to make sure it's only the 16th.
I can contact them tomorrow and let
Yeah,
them know
let's-
that they really only have.
Yeah, let's not
approval
wait
for
until
one day.
after
Yeah.
the fact and then try to bust them.
Don had observed that at one point, there was a deputy there. Did you ever find out what that was?
You know, I called up to the sheriff's department to pull the calls for service and they couldn't find it.
Okay.
So I can't speak to that because it was
Somebody
just
stopping in and-
something that was told that he could have just been pulling in to
Could've
check
just
out
been
what's
there.
going on. So,
All right,
I'll
well,
give them a call tomorrow.
thank you, everybody, for your
Yeah.
feedback.
Yeah, thanks, Don.
I think there's one thing we probably need to do is if we are going to do this on riverboat days, we probably should put an ordinance together for a special use situation. So then that way we're not saying, you know, the lawyers I talked to said this and the lawyers you talked to said this. That way it's completely cut and dry, but it doesn't open the window anymore.
I think that's a great
You know what
idea.
I
So
mean?
you guys, I mean, nobody likes procedure or policy, it's kind of dry and boring, but it's there for a purpose. I mean, it protects you guys, it protects the community. So by instituting something like that, if you were gonna do that in the future, I think that would.
So would
probably
that be
wise to do.
something that we would ask Dave to possibly look into, so it's written legally correct?
Right, well, we could look and see if somebody else has something to go by and then run it by Dave and,
Okay.
you know, kind of maybe do a little bit
Okay.
of footwork first and
Yeah.
then talk to David about it, rather than putting the whole thing on him, so,
Okay.
yeah. I think it's a very good idea, though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bid for repairs to McLean County Museum.
Good job.
Do we have something on that?
Yeah, there's an actual bid in our packet here. It really concerns the roof of the print shop, and Rhonda is here if you want to speak about that. But there's some leaking into the print shop. That roof is in disrepair. And we have one bid for Prairie Carpet Services to board
Excuse me,
over.
do you have a page that's on?
You can have mine, I have paper.
36. So is this complete re-shingling or something?
Near as I can tell, it's just the sheeting and then the rubber roofing over the top of that fiber boarding with proper flashing along the edges. So I have not talked to Prairie Carpet at all, it's just what we have here. But there is a definite need as the roof is leaking, so.
It has kind of a wood shingles, right? And-
Over the print shop,
No?
I think that's a flat,
No, it's a flat
Is it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
roof.
The rest of the building is the shake.
Oh, is that in the back?
No, it's on the county museum side of the building. It's on the left side.
That's the $5,633 a month?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that with the gutters? Or is that
Yep.
added to it?
I guess, I don't know, that looks like it's out to the side.
Separate.
That might be separate,
That's another
$500
$500.
for
That's,
gutters.
I think we've already set this money aside, right?
Correct.
Yes.
I think we had put some aside this
Yeah.
year for that.
Yep.
Last year and
That's
this year.
correct.
Do you know how much we put aside? Wasn't it like 15,000 or something, or? was it-
It wasn't more than enough to cover this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
checked, but I can't remember how much was just for the museum.
10,
Was it
yeah,
10?
I think. But yeah, we have more than enough for this. So if the question is if we can get this individual to do the work before the weather hits, we'd like to have it approved through the commission.
Just the roof part, not this
Yes.
other part.
The roof and the gutters, right?
Correct.
Okay.
What other part were you looking at?
Well, there's another bid here, I don't know, what's that one, Joan? For,
Putting plywood on the
Plywood.
windows.
Oh,
some of those are really bad.
Is there,
that's
are we
true.
planning on putting windows in eventually or no?
They will need them. Because some of them are rotted around the framework. But the second bid was to put the plywood on the back side of the building, so the windows don't get broken by, through, you know, if anybody comes through or, because some plywood is there and it's pulling away, which has a bird's nest in it, and, you know, with the wintertime, the snow comes in, and that's causing the wood to rot around it.
If I remember right, they're in really bad shape.
Yes, we went through that.
Yes,
That's the
we
same
did.
bid we gave you whatever day that was,
Yeah.
when we went with Val.
And then there's a third page too. Oh, here's the foam board, is that with the,
Yeah, I guess each bid had its,
oh, these are separate bids?
materials from Wagon Wheel, so.
These windows, you know what, let's deal with the roof first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move that we go ahead with the roof repair for, well, the roof repair plus gutters. For approximately, it's about $5,100 roughly.
It will be, 56 with the,
Oh, I'm on the wrong one, I'm sorry, I'm on
Yeah.
the wrong bid here. Yeah, it'd be
Yep.
6,100 roughly.
roughly, yeah.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on that? Is this something he can do yet, or?
We have to double check, hopefully yes. So,
Okay. All right, Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, then this next one. Is this plywood on all the windows, or?
The back side,
It says 11 above-ground windows and 6
So-
basement windows.
So would we be better off using that money to put windows in?
the back side is boarded up because we didn't want any, kids throwing throwing to breaking the glass, but it also protects the sun from damaging the stuff that's inside of it.
Sure. The sun really doesn't come in the backside, though. You know, because that's the north side. It
You
doesn't come
have
in.
curtains and blinds up.
So your question is, the second bid that would board up the windows, maybe we put that money toward?
Windows?
Board up the ones you want in the back, if that's what you guys want. But maybe on the others, it looks like they're boarding up a lot of them here. Maybe use that money towards just putting in new windows.
How many do you
Instead
think
of-
need to be boarded immediately to protect it through the winter?
I don't know, 6. I don't know. How many are back there?
I think there's 8 back there,
No, I think you're right.
and some.
And they're all broken?
No, some of them are really, nice, that the plywood goes into the frame. The other ones is, they boarded them up and it's on the outside of the frame, so the wind pulled them behind, comes down and the birds got in between the glass and the boards.
And that was done years ago, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, there.
But the basement ones probably need to be plywood so no snow gets in, since we got fans. They are open, there's no window actually there.
If and when we have them on site for the roof, we'll talk to them to see what they can do for the rest of the building and maybe get a rebid on that piece. We can all look at it when we're down there.
But I suppose we're getting close here. Do we need to kinda okay at least if they decide?
Well, it's been that way for 10 years.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, then we can decide whether we want to do
Okay.
windows or spend this money on this, because there's
Yeah.
no sense spending this spring to do windows.
Right.
The roof definitely needs to be
Yeah.
done, so, that's what I'm recommending anyway, is we'll take a look at it and see what they say. Okay?
Good with that?
Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Demolition permit request from Dan Butler. That is for the building across the street. I move that we approve the demolition permit.
So that's this, is it the entire structure? I would second that.
Okay, any discussion on that? Basically, the next item on the agenda will continue on with this. So. All right, no discussion. Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
No? Aye. Okay, and then conditional use permit request for Dan Butler. It went before planning and zoning, there was a public hearing. There was no, there'll be in opposition to it. He wants to put up a new shop and then also storage units, which falls under conditional use permit. Planning and zoning recommended a pass on that, so.
Did you have any people come in, on it all? Is there gonna be a fence around it, or what's their plan on that?
I don't believe so.
Any outdoor storage?
Hope not.
That's-
Well, no, I don't think there'd be room for outdoor storage. Basically, there would be storage in, units in the back and in front. I think it was the shop on this side, then storage units in the front, and then the whole back would be storage units.
I had mentioned outdoor storage to Justin, and he had said no, but that was about 3 weeks ago. And that's all I have.
Because from the drawing, it looks as if the shop will stick out toward the street and then there will be approaches on each of those storage.
There'd be
Yeah,
doors on
units.
each one, yeah. right.
Is there gonna be any change to the curb on that? Cause I know we have parking over there right now. Will they adjust that at all, so they have that roll curb at all?
I don't know. It's a good question.
I think for right now, I think his goal for this fall now is to get that building demolished. And then he still has there's still some financial aspects of the project that he's looking at and then starting it. So I think there's still more to come as to how he's going to take care of it. These were the first two things that he needed to get done in order to even move forward with the rest of it, so.
You know, and really, if there is no parking on there, it'd be the same as like Dock Shop, you know, I mean, that's
Yeah.
all mountable curb anyway.
Yeah, the only concern is here, we're limited as far as any type of parking for us here.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
I mean, we have a couple spots over
we
there.
got here, we got over here, and,
You know.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it, I just,
Well, that's a
you
good
know,
question.
especially
Absolutely.
when you're talking about storage, you know, sometimes it turns into, when it gets to be outdoor storage,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah, that'd be the question. In front of each unit, are they looking
Yeah.
at those individuals?
And parking in the
Parking, so-
boulevard and
Yeah.
dirt piles in the back and,
Well, if somebody
If there was
wants to
a,
say that there can be no outdoor storage, but you know, the thing is, it's also their construction building, so I mean, their stuff is gonna be outside. You know, like they have now, their trucks and their whole backhoe and trailers and stuff will be outside, so, I mean, it's not like everything's gonna be inside, you know?
oh, so this bigger area is gonna be there for their construction? Oh, okay.
Right, John, that's the way I read it, or that's the way I understand it, so.
I think it'll still be
An improvement?
more aesthetically pleasing than what we currently have.
Yes, I agree.
And the one thing that I've heard from residents, that I hear a lot from the same residents, is we might wanna just bring up that they need to stay parking off the boulevard with construction equipment. Because I've had several people complain that they're always in the boulevard parking their construction equipment.
Well, there's really no boulevard over there.
Well,
Main Street takes
right
up
along
pretty
the
much
road.
the whole thing,
Yeah,
so.
but they're right along the road.
Oh, I see, on
Yeah.
that, oh, okay, on the street.
Yeah, so.
so
And when they do the demolition, I have talked to them already about the routes that they're going to be able to take and move on and residential safety and stuff, so.
Sounds good.
it does show that there's a no by will the curb and street be cut, so
Okay.
obviously the curb will stay intact for now.
Okay. I motioned on that already, right? Or didn't I?
Pardon me?
Did I motion on that, or was that the last one?
I think
That was a
last-
demolition.
Yeah, we actually don't have a discussion, or,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we don't have a motion yet.
Okay. do
But
a
we have
motion?
discussed.
We have a motion
For the building permit?
for the, no, for the conditional use permit. They still have to come in and get a building permit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just the conditional use.
And that conditional use is just for storage.
Is it storage and the contractor yard?
But I think
It
that-
might be both of them.
Yeah, contractor would be okay already where you're using that or not?
Mm,
I think you need it for both,
Okay.
I think. I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit.
I'll second that just for discussion's
Okay,
sake.
any further discussion?
What's the current zoning of that lot?
Commercial.
So the conditional use is on here, but then there is a building permit. in
Yes,
the-
there will be, yeah.
Right.
But there's one filled out in our notes.
There is, yep.
Okay, that's
yep.
where I was
Okay.
getting caught up in the weeds,
Okay.
sorry about that.
Yep.
Well, they, and I think this little drawing here, it might be a little different than that. I mean, this, you know, that's a very early drawing by, you know,
Yeah, I agree. I think that the building itself might change when it comes down to it, but he's still gonna have, I mean, where it's at and placed on the lot is still gonna have to adhere to the current planning and zoning guidelines. So if he decides to come in and change the placement of the building on the lot, it's still gonna have to, Adam will still have to go out and check it, and he'll have to go through it, and if there's any variance that he requests outside of what was in the planning and zoning, then he'll have to come back through the process
So
all
this is
again.
just a rough draft
I think
drawing, 'cause
essentially for right now.
Otherwise, it looks like it's right by the borderline.
Yeah, we need the demo, and he needs the conditional use permit, which even is going to allow him to then move forward with the
Okay.
building permit.
well, yeah, he's not gonna demo it if he doesn't get the conditional use permit,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So the next step then will be the building permit. We will go through that with him.
Okay. Any other discussion on that? Keith?
Aye.
Reese?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Aye. Sioux Ferry needs repairs?
Sioux Ferry was broken into. So there are some repairs that it needs.
Yeah, it's a couple pages there.
Yeah.
Tom Neary had been in contact. What we're looking at is if insurance will cover any of that, obviously. And Joan, have you found anything on that?
I haven't found anything on the AV equipment that was stolen.
Okay.
I don't have any documentation of that, so that one's going to be a little bit hard. As far as the rest of it, I can contact the insurance company and see about replacing the windows. I had just, Sharon had forwarded me that bid today.
Sure. So this is a separate bid from in town here. The sheriff's report is complete, it's documented, and maybe we need to bring in an insurance adjuster to take a look. Whether that differs from the bid, you know, we'll figure out later on, but the security system, windows, and then this bid, I think, replaces some of the roofing that's bad. So there's, in addition to the break-in damage, there's some other repairs that they're looking at. So when you look at this bid here for the,
So which one are we on here? I mean, there's like 3 pages here. So
yeah, that's all together.
48 or not?
46 through 48 or 48?
Yeah, the total is on page 48, and it's $2,900 and change. So there's a mixed bid here for just maintenance repairs on the ferry, plus what was damaged when it was broken into. So if the insurance adjuster can come out, it might be a slightly lower amount than what you see here.
And what's the 2,500? Backsplash?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know,
That was just kind of
yeah.
not a part of it.
So,
Well, we
So
got-
really it was just more,
so how much of this is damaged from the vandalism, and how much? Unless you said that, I missed it, but.
I don't know where the separation is, so we'll have to find some clarity there, but
So did
it's
they
a good
put-
discussion anyway. It did get broken into and we have to repair it.
Did they put a new camera system in?
No, not yet.
I have not yet.
We can't find the original documentation of that first purchase to see exactly what we had and how much it was.
Okay.
So,
They stole the camera and the recording equipment.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
They must have realized they were
God.
on camera, so they made away with it.
What next, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I think it'd be nice to make sure everything's kept up.
So really, there's no motion or decision here, just for information.
So when do they plan on, they have to go through the insurance first and then?
I'll work with Joan to figure that out, see what options we have there. Hopefully it will, that would be the route. Yeah.
You're right. Thank you. Okay, thank you on that.
Yeah.
Okay, bid from Memorial Hall roof, I missed that one, sorry.
Yep, Charvat, is that how you say that?
I don't know.
Charvat Construction has a bid here for roofing of the Memorial Hall. It's roughly $35,000 to do 30-year laminates, and then there is a figure at $39,500 to have a metal roof installed on the building.
Is this, were there other people asked to bid on this, or just these people?
Sharon called a lot of people, and he actually was the only one to come out and look at it.
Is it-
Well, I think a couple had come out, but the pitch of the roof, no one will
The
even.
only thing I don't like about this here is it talks about, they give us a quote, but then it says that the crane and things like that are not included. Well, that crane could cost us a fortune. You see that second paragraph down there?
Wow.
Crane time is not included in the above estimate cost. Well, if they take their time on this project, that crane could cost us a fortune.
And why would it be in there?
Exactly.
Do they need a crane? I don't know. I imagine that would be helpful. Yeah, I think we need to have them clarify that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good catch.
Yeah, boy, no kidding, I didn't even see that. Oh.
Okay.
I can call him and ask him. This bid was given, I think, in July, and then I contacted him a few weeks ago, and he came back and reassessed the building, and he did add on approximately $700 to what his original estimate was. And the crane time, it may be, maybe they say estimated, because I think that first time Newly Voigt gave him the information for the building, and I think he put together the estimate based off of, in good faith for Newly and through him, so. But he did come up 2 weeks ago, I think,
And
and
I
he had
don't-
looked at it again, so I can check with him
I think
and
it's a
see
good
what
price,
details.
especially for metal roof. You know, it's just that I don't wanna get us into anything that's
Absolutely.
open-ended.
That's a good catch.
And he said that he will, then when he, I think I'd sent that email also, that he would go ahead and honor this price next spring also,
Okay.
and then they would take care of it right away in the spring.
So we've got a little time yet,
Yeah.
so, yeah. Okay, cool, very good. Good catch, yeah. Use of funds from NMDA to pay 3 Wagner's. You were saying something about, we might have money by then, or?
If, Jasper?
Yes?
Good morning.
You know, why don't we, if Jasper's gonna get involved, because he's gonna be next after that, so why don't we just move on to these requests for inclusion of land from Dick
Okay.
Bickert, and then he's been sitting here nice and quiet the whole time, so.
That's just the way I am, I guess.
Yeah.
Just want a little background on where
Sure.
we came
Like,
from?
sure.
Okay. This land is, where 200 goes from 83 to the bridge. This land is west of 200, between the Interpretive Center and the railroad tracks. That whole area was owned by my father, and in the 90s, he sold about 14, 15 acres to the Interpretive Center. And then in 2000, in the interim, all that land went into a trust, so it's owned by my family now when my father passed away. In 2000, it was suggested and done that that land, which amounts to about 85 acres, I think, be annexed into the city. And really, the original reason is to capture the city sales tax from the interpretive center. And at the time, we were told that this really wouldn't have a big impact on our taxes. Well, now with all these special assessments having a huge impact on our taxes. The last special assessment was right at about $10,000. So, you know, with the upcoming assessments, the land has no utilities on it, no facilities, really no access. The only access to that land is a section line road west of the interpretive center. And the only thing it's really used for is some haying, which we get a few bales off of for one of our renters, and then someone rents the pasture for their horses. So really, in terms of any kind of development or anything like that, it really, at this point, has no benefit to that. So I guess we're asking the city to, and you should have the ordinance. Dave did write that up, and Dave was waiting for me when I walked through the door of his office. He said, I expected you to come in at some point, because he said you were, after Patty Schultz, he said, you know, you're really the only other one who has a similar situation that really should be dealt with. So, any questions?
I have no questions. I mean, I don't know, it's, you know, definitely within your right to request this.
Sure.
So. Anybody else comments, or do we need to?
I have information I can give, yes, while we're all thinking. According to my calculations, well, just the piece that you have is 74.33 acres.
Okay.
In 2013, they paid $9,530 in special assessments, and then for the 2014-15, they did lower that cap, so, you know, quite a bit, significantly. And it was 37.2588. They were capped off in that first round. So,
you know, I've talked to my siblings about this, and we don't have a problem paying our fair share, but, you know, when it's undeveloped, unplatted, I shouldn't say unusable, but at this point really probably will never be used for anything except pasture land and haying. It just seems a little excessive.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing as Patty Schultz's, really, I guess.
You know, the only difference is you do have development in the in-city limits above and below here, where Patty Schultz did not. You know, because the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center used to be a part of this area, right?
Yeah, my father owned that.
So
He sold it.
In a way, it already has been developed. Part of it.
That's the only part that's been developed, yeah.
there's water and sewer that goes across to the center.
Right.
And just for the water line goes down 200 on the other side?
On the east side, yeah,
Highway.
the water and the sewer.
And I think this is one of those things where we probably just don't want to rush into it. You know, maybe take some time to think about it. And I know it's been 10, 15 years or whatever.
Yeah,
But for us, it's just been a short period of time.
Right, it's been 16 years.
Yeah.
And like I said, the city attorney at the time said, you know, this is really going to have no impact on your taxes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, who would have expected what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't fault that statement, but it's having a big impact on our taxes. And the downside of it is that that property really produces us very little income. So, you know, when we're looking at the taxes, that's coming right out of our pocket.
But don't you think when you sell it, being close to town will be a huge asset?
And
having
I
that
guess we
water
don't plan on
sewer right
selling
there.
it. And we've never really had anybody approach us about purchasing it. You know, that is one direction to go, and in some respects it is a little developable, but nobody's ever approached us or talked to us about it, and to be perfectly honest with you, I kind of like the view.
Yeah.
Well, kind of like on Patty Schultz, you know, we tabled it because, you know, so we could look it over and stuff like that. I think that would probably be, you know, because the next round of assessments aren't going out until like next fall.
Sure.
So if that's okay.
And that's fine, I just want to make my case and, you know, just
Yeah,
keep
I would
in
like
mind
to
that
table it. Absolutely.
the precedence has been set, so. But thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank
Appreciate
you.
it, be better.
Jasper's awake again.
Oh, wait.
Oh, you're assuming for that.
One that doesn't squeak.
Yeah, take this one. Okay, so we'll go back to the funds for K3 to Wagner.
I have their Wagner's third pay request, and we have funds available in the savings account, which also is home to the remaining search fund money. So I'm still just trying to avoid taking out that interim funding and paying all of the extra interest for those short-term loans. So I guess what I'm requesting is the approval to access. I would transfer from the MMDA to the general checking account, and we would pay that pay 3 if, depending upon the bonding money. And so you guys have a special meeting next Monday for the bond, so depending upon how soon then that money's going to be in the bank, I may just be able to pay off that bond money, which would be excellent, but if not, I would like to take care of Wagner and I would just utilize this money and then pay it back.
What's the total
The,
for the K3? K3.
it's 300 and some $1,000.
And we actually just got
I
another.
have it on my desk.
Yeah,
but
we just got another pay request that we haven't sent up, that's
the four-
like 588,000.
It was actually
Number
approved
4.
at the last meeting too.
You're talking number 3, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just got number 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see, so it's already been approved to pay, just you want to know where to get it from.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
oh,
it's
okay.
been approved to pay,
Oh,
but
okay, right.
when the bond money, it's for the past couple weeks, it's been, yep, it's coming, and so I've kind of just put it off because I didn't want to have to do any interim funding. And now we're very, very close, so,
Well, if we can save several $1,000s on
Yeah.
interest, I mean.
and it is,
You know, I
it's
mean, wow,
huge.
that's a kind of a no-brainer for
Yeah.
me. So I will move that we authorize MMDA funds to pay for pay request number 3 to Wagner Construction if the bond funds are not available at time of payment.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Keith?
Aye.
Please?
Aye.
No?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, at our special meeting, will we need to also add that pay request as well? Or isn't that a hurry?
I don't have that one yet, so that would
Okay.
probably be taken care of in
That would
November.
come to the next meeting,
Mhm.
regular meeting then, probably.
That way, that will, you should for sure have your funds by that point, at least I hope.
Okay, project update.
Are we doing number 16, is that part of my discussion too, or if he's not here or not?
He canceled out,
Okay.
Apparently that's gonna be fixed, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the one spot that's on the front side of his house,
Yeah.
looked like it must have got hit by a roller or something, but, so they're gonna fix a
Right.
small chunk of.
That looks like it's been broke for a while.
Okay.
To me.
I didn't look at it myself, so.
I looked at it, so,
Okay.
yeah.
But when you have it right beside that new section of curb line, and then you have that one,
Yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer.
it looks bad.
Okay. So anyway,
Project update, waiting for the paving company to get back into town. 2 of the streets, kind of some good news, I guess, 2 of the streets, the 2 blocks at the dead end of 2nd and the bottom portion of 7th have, I'll say, kind of healed themselves. They had worked them a number of times to try to get the subgrade good, and we're actually thinking that they might have to cut it out again and go deeper, but they did a road test last week and it's looking a lot better. So if you're wondering why those, 3 blocks or whatever weren't paved, the last couple times the paving company was here, that's why. But, you know, they will get that done when they come back, so.
When are they coming back?
We haven't heard yet. Eric was gonna try to get me an update, but hopefully this week yet.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow. So not tomorrow.
And-
Wait your tongue, John.
Just slowly working at the last remaining concrete. Got some sidewalk left, just a little bit of curb. The sidewalk across the street here, gotta do that, and the ramp up to the city building, the sidewalk through the coulee, and then just get paving and the seeding done, and then we're getting down there, really.
And then how about that other areas that we approved?
So that, I was gonna get to that, so the sidewalk project, I did get a call on Friday, from the project manager at Wagner, and I think he also talked to Eric today too, requesting if they could do that additional sidewalk in the spring. So I did wanna bring that up at the meeting tonight.
Which additional sidewalk?
The sidewalk that was not part of
The
the.
project.
Yeah.
The 50/50
project,
grant
the-
stuff.
Oh, the sidewalk project,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That none of that's broken out yet?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you know, rather than having a quick job that is not up to par, I mean, that would be fine as long as, you know, all contracts are, all prices are honored and everything else, you know.
And I'll get them to, you know, provide a letter stating that.
Are the residents,
Go ahead.
are the residents expecting it done this fall? Do we have to let them know as well? Okay. That's understandable.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, they really just wanna focus on getting the big project done, and I
You know, they
know.
have a lot to do yet,
Yep.
so.
Sounds good.
How about the spot, by the tunnel, by the highway, has that been done?
Yeah.
No, but I will.
Good question. You're good.
And then also remember, up by Stropes, there's a huge section of his curb that's been taken out. It must have been by Snowblade or something.
Really?
Yeah. No?
Where at?
Up by Stropes?
In Renner Edition.
Renner edition. Okay.
There's a huge chunk that's, or it's been knocked out, so sometime we'll have to fix it.
I don't know if it was brought up in a meeting I wasn't at, but, you know, the chip and seal is gonna be next year. Was that ever brought up?
I know Keith and you are aware, but yes, that was the other thing, they also called and were hoping that they could come next spring and finish the seal coat. It was, I didn't really feel bad for the guy, but there was like, he called on a Thursday and there was like 3 good days of weather, and then it was pretty much done for the year as far as seal coating goes, and said they were on their way home. That was their weekend off, so they requested to come back next spring, and I honestly think that's a much better plan. Seal coating is much better when it's warmer and
Oh, yeah, you
when
don't
the
wanna
days
build
are
that
getting
before
warmer and
snow, so
longer.
you
and-
Rub it all
yeah,
out, so.
I am concerned about how much will get ripped off by the blade.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I don't think I had a whole lot more.
So for the chip seal, are they gonna do the 2016 project areas also? Or are we just gonna go back to the original?
That's a great question that,
As of yet.
I wanna reach out to them, see how much they're willing to do and within the same prices.
I don't, yeah, we haven't okayed the 2016 though yet, have we?
No,
Okay.
no,
No, I
This
was
is
just
for-
saying if they are
Oh,
coming
yeah.
back in the spring and the project's done, it might.
for consistency, I
just to get it done.
would for sure recommend doing the area through the coulee on Main here.
Through the coulee, yeah, but, you know, I guess I have an issue with, you know, chip sealing right away, because, you know, if you got issues, then, you know, with, say, some pavement or something like that, then you're kind of wasting your chip seal too, so. I mean,
Does
I've
it
just
cover up
seen-
problem areas?
Huh?
Does it hide problem areas that you would normally see
Well, it's
then?
money you're spending on something that might need to be fixed, you know.
Yeah, so if they came in right away in the spring and did all that work, and then Wagner had to come back and repair something, you know, you chip seal, unless, we'd have to almost try to force Wagner then to chip seal it too along with paving it, so I see
Yeah.
where you're.
Yeah, I'd like to see it sit for a year or two, and then do it, but. Are we gonna have to extend our completion date on this project, I suppose, huh?
They did, so the completion dates were, which project you talking about? The big one. The completion dates were October 8th and then October 28th, I believe, and they did send a request to just change the substantial, which was October 8th, to the final completion date.
And that's 28th.
Yes. It's for sure in October, I think it's the 28th.
Yeah, I think it's 28th also.
At this point, I haven't, I guess I haven't responded to him, and I don't, at this point, see it being a big issue, assuming the paving contractor gets back, because they don't have, if we get half-decent weather over the next couple of weeks, though, they shouldn't have any issue getting
Right.
it all done.
Right, they've definitely fought the weather, there's no question. Yeah, if it wasn't for the weather, they'd probably be done already, so. But I guess if we need to extend it, then we can deal with that later, is that what you're thinking, or?
Yeah, technically, as of the 8th, they were supposed to have, I believe, the first lift on everything, so they're a little bit short on that, but honestly, the fact that they were able to work with their paving contractor and get them to come in multiple times just to work with them, I've never seen that, so honestly, it's usually the paving contractor waits till everything's done and ready and then they come in, so. They're so close to meeting the substantial anyways that,
Right.
and unless they don't meet the end of the month, then I think we need to revisit
Okay.
this discussion.
Works for me, Jim?
Sounds good.
Is there anyone from the city going to the water pollution control conference tomorrow?
Adam and Kim?
Yeah, well,
Is that Bismarck, or?
it's in my mind.
Fine.
Okay, that's all I had. I
Any
think of more.
questions for Jasper, anyone? No? Okay, portfolios? Keith?
Well, Noelle with Human Resources, her and I, probably do evaluations within the next 2 to 3 weeks, so if anyone has anything that they wanna add, just let us know. And, yeah, that's about it, and, Adam put a camera system in for safety and keep an eye on things, plus a doorbell, cause the place is always locked, so you can't get hold of them. The doorbell's not in yet.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay. Please?
Nope, handled all the portfolio items within the agenda, so I'm done.
Nothing.
Nothing. Joan?
No.
Anybody else? Okay, bills? Everybody get a chance to review the bills?
All motion that we pay bills.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on the bills? Keith?
Aye.
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 Meeting adjourned.
Larry, with the